I'll give you a hypothetical. Most online coaches, whether they're an online coach, business owner, content creator, influencer, whatever they want to call themselves, because everyone's different.
Mhm.
Most people aren't successful, but they pretend that they're living a successful life on social media. Let's just say most people are making, I don't know, let's just pull a random figure out. Average income in Australia is about $1,500 a week. Yeah. So
Okay.
their mission statement is that they want to build a seven-figure business, but they also want to learn how to do martial arts. And that's what really makes them happy. But they're struggling financially to the point where they, like they're an influencer trying to go viral, or they're contacting all, like they know that step one is to make money. So, but they also want to be a jiu-jitsu, because that's what they really love. Like they love
Hmm.
watching the UFC, Royce Gracie, whatever. So, at what point do you, um, what's the word, shift your mission statements? Like, do you shift to what's really important now? So again, most content creators, business owners, their goal is to be happy, and happiness is obviously to learn jiu-jitsu. But at this moment, you got to make money, because without
Right.
money, you don't have, you can't do this, you can't pay for anything.
Mhm.
So, do you do you have on your mission statement your goals, your desires, your wants, your dream life, but you have it in steps? Whereas like goal one, I need to, making money is the priority, and then once I reach a certain level, then I can reward myself. So like let's just say, uh, my first goal is to make $10,000 a month, because everyone wants to make $10,000 a month online. Every single coach is a
Right.
$10,000 per month coach. But that's step one, is to make 10,000 a month. And then after you've done that, then you reward yourself with going to jiu-jitsu training once a week. So like, what's your take on that? Or do you do both? Do you build your business, from early morning, and then in the afternoon is more hobby time or fun?
Mhm. So from my perspective, the way I view this is what we're really talking about at this point. Your question is two different things. So there's the purpose statement, and what the way, again, this is the way I would view it with my system, is now we're talking about goals. So I call them smartery, by the way, instead of smart. Smartery stands for specific, measurable, actionable, risky, time keyed, exciting, relevant, and the Y stands for your why. So, what we could do here is the way I've written my purpose statement is I have a paragraph that is kind of the first paragraph is kind of my overall life. What type of a man was I in general? The next paragraph is specifically about my family. The third paragraph is specifically about my faith. The fourth paragraph is specifically about my business. And then the fifth paragraph is specifically about my impact in society and on the world at large. So with that being said, that is what I want to grow into. So that's not specific goals. You don't need to put in there that I want to make 10,000 first and then I want to do
Mm.
jujitsu. You can put in there, Josh Hull, Josh became a jujitsu master at the age of 56. If that's something that you want to accomplish. What happens is once you've written your purpose statement, kind of your life vision, which should be causing you to grow, then you need to pull out, extract from that, well, what goals do I need to be setting? And that's where the 10,
Mm.
the 5, and the 1 year vision come in. What goals do I need to be setting? So, well, if I want to, by the time I die, for example, in mine, it says I'm going to have run, my company will be a 9-figure company. That's $100 million plus a year.
Mhm.
Okay. So for me to get there, though, I have to extract and go, okay, this year, what goal do I need to set? Well, if I'm at $0, then maybe my first goal is I need to get to 10,000 a month consistently. That's goal number one. Okay. Once I get to that goal, then the next goal is, well, now I need to get to $50,000 a month consistently. Then I need to get to 100,000, and so as you go through, because your life statement isn't about, I will do it by this
Mm.
time. Your life statement is, I want to do this within my lifetime. Your purpose statement, right? So what you're asking is fits within that, because you can write the overall vision of, as an entrepreneur, I want to be I want 9 figures. I want 7 figures a year. I want 10 figures a year, whatever you want, right? Or maybe it's just supported his family and impacted his community, and that's great too. But then you extract the goal. Maybe your community impact is that Josh was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match, achieved his, I don't even know what the belts are, achieved his black belt in martial arts by the age of 60 and competed professionally for 10 years. Maybe that's part of my life plan. Okay, so now let's extract that,
Mm.
and then that's the relevant part of smartery. So I have to look at my season of life, right? And your goals need to be relevant. They need to be relevant to your season of life, meaning, if I have 6 kids, a family, all these other things, sports going on, is it practical? Can I really set aside 10 hours a week to practice jujitsu right now? Probably not. Maybe in a couple of years, possibly. So is it relevant right now? Is it relevant? Does it align with your values? You know, uh, to say that I want to become the greatest cat burglar in the world, well, that doesn't align with my values. So why would I set a goal to do that, right?
Mm.
Sometimes people ask us to set goals, our bosses, people that we still have to work with 9 to 5, and we need to ask, do I have to do shady things or things against my values to
Yeah.
accomplish this goal? If so, then don't set that goal. And then it also needs to align with your other goals. So in this scenario, could this entrepreneur pursue 5 figure months while also pursuing jujitsu? Can they? Can it align?
Mm.
Sure, it can. Or will it cause friction? Well, in this case, maybe it's going to cause friction because I can't afford to pay for jujitsu until I get to 10
Mm.
figures.
Yeah.
So that's where you make the call on, let's achieve this goal first, let's achieve this goal second, because this goal is going to help this goal be achieved.
Yeah.
So that's the idea there. So, and that gets into my goal training, my goal achievement training, and with the smartery goals and setting that way. But really, that's what your purpose statement should inform your goals. So your goals should be, if I achieve this, I will be one step closer to being this type of person.
Yeah.
And if I achieve this, I'll be one step closer, and setting a personal goal of, say, you want to be more spiritual, that by the end of your life, you want people to say that Josh was just connected with the eternal and always viewed people in a spiritual light and was kind to them. Well, then that means I got to start doing things today. What is a goal I can set? Well, maybe the goal is, I will have a spiritual devotional every day for 10 minutes every morning. So that's my habit goal,
Mm.
right? To start me down that path. Now that becomes second nature. So what's the next goal I can set? That, well, Josh did a spiritual retreat, or not Josh did, that's purpose statement, but maybe the next goal is, I want to complete a spiritual retreat to Tibet in 2024. And so I set the goal and I start taking the action steps to plan and achieve that. And so on and so until I'm becoming who I say I want to
Mm.
be.
Yeah.
And so that's the idea, is we set those goals. Going back to your door opening, maybe that's a goal. Maybe you go, I want to be nicer to people and stop saying the F word in my head so much. Dude walks past me, F you, dude, F you, F you.
Mm.
I don't say it so out loud. So I save that for special occasions. But so maybe that's the kind of
Mm.
man you want to become. So the goal is to do that. I'm going to force myself. I'm going to be cognizant and make myself open the door for people, whether or not they say thank you, so that I'm learning to be kinder, so that
Yeah.
I'm learning to see people. And maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe that's why they're not being nice to me. So I don't need to be rude to
Mm.
them, you know,
Yeah.
I, whatever it might be. So does that answer your question? I hope that
Oh
covers that.
yeah.
I think,
Definitely.
like I said, when we're looking at it, you're looking at the same thing. It's just, I call them two separate things. My purpose statement or my life map is different than the goals I set. But the goals I set those are the stepping stones I use to become the person in my life map.